Welcome to an analysis on applied behavioral psychology. Today we're diving deep into the science behind why we put things off. We've all been there, stuck in a loop of staring at screens while our goals remain untouched. We call it procrastination, but in behavioral psychology, it's a deep, complex survival mechanism. Your brain isn't lazy, it's a protectionist. It's wired to prioritize immediate comfort over long-term reward. Evolutionarily, immediate comfort meant survival. This brings us to a crucial psychological barrier, the intent-action gap. What is this gap and how does it prevent us from moving forward? The intent-action gap is the psychological distance between deciding to do something and the actual execution of that task. It's where most goals stall out. Many people try to bridge this gap with pure willpower, but willpower is a finite resource. If you rely on it exclusively, you're setting yourself up for fatigue and a burnout cycle. Instead of focusing solely on internal change, let's look at external factors. The key is engineering your environment for productivity. If you want to change behavior, you change the context, not the person. Think about a casino. No clocks, dimmed lighting. It's an environment engineered to exploit human psychology. You can use these same principles for your own life. Ask yourself, what is the path of least resistance in your space? If your phone is next to your laptop, you're splitting your cognitive load. Move it, and you lower the cognitive cost of focus, making the task at hand easier to choose. Next, let's look at how to get your brain ready for deep work, a concept called cognitive priming. Most of us jump into work expecting to go from 0 to 60 immediately, but your brain thrives on transition. Create a ritual, a specific playlist or a desk lamp to signal a high-focus state. This ritual is a Pavlovian response. You are training your own biology to expect work when that specific sensory cue appears, making the start much smoother. But often, the avoidance isn't about the work. It's about the fear of the outcome. We need to address the ego defense mechanism. Procrastination is often a defense mechanism. We fear that if we try and fail, it confirms the internal narrative that we aren't good enough, so we avoid starting to protect our ego. We prefer the potential of greatness that comes from an unstarted project over the reality of a flawed first attempt. We keep the stakes high to keep the possibility of failure low. To break this cycle, you must embrace the concept of the minimum viable effort, or MVE. Don't aim for the masterpiece. Aim for the garbage draft. Give yourself permission to be terrible for the first 10 minutes. Lower the stakes. When you lower the stakes, you lower the cortisol levels that trigger your fight or flight response. When the threat level drops, your executive function comes back online and you start seeing solutions. This isn't about hustle culture. It's about understanding your biology. You must become the architect of your own cognitive environment. If you feel overwhelmed, stop looking at the mountain. Look at the next 3 feet in front of you. Break the task down until it feels almost laughably easy, and you will begin to move.